Frank.
Ah, Milo has sent a dispatch from Glenbrook. Deep within the Grand Nozellian mines lies... It would seem salt crystals were found within.
Frank, that's you too.
Impossible!
Alright, for the people who have bad luck with the stream, I guess you can connect via Parsec if you want.
I mean, also then it obfuscates who's the one who needs to connect to Parsec later.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll add to the suspense.
Oh, I like the wheels.
Unless the one person who needs to be connected to Parsec doesn't decide to right now.
Are we all good? Alright, is that everyone?
I'm connected.
I'm connected.
Alright, then we'll keep going.
Impossible.
Hold on. Nika.
Shoot, so I had my thing on mute, sorry about that. The discovery of salt outside the source explains the cadastro's recent provocations.
How can you be so calm? The teachings tell us that salt is a blessing bestowed only upon the goddess's followers. The discovery of these salt crystals is an existential threat to Hyzante. Salt crystals are salt too. We need only keep word of this discovery from spreading.
Duck, really deep voice.
Of course. But how? The Hierophant has spoken. Minister Exarm, you shall raise an army and seize the Grand Nozellian mines in Hyzant's name.
The Hierophant asked us to invade Glenbrook?
Do you have another way to silence the King Roland and his royal hounds in House Wolffort?
Minister Serenoa is one of us, and thus is honor bound to heed the Hierophant's word. But we know not if he will do so, or if he will cast his lot with his precious king. You shall ask him yourself when you surround Castle Wolffort, en route to the mine.
And if he resists?
You are free to deal with him as we do with all who forsake the goddess.
Noah?
Have you heard the popular rumor, Lord Clarus?
Frank again, trying like a noble voice. Be something snobby.
That Hyzant intends to raise an army against Glenbrook? Yes, I am familiar.
Good.
So it's reached the consortium then. Is it true?
King Roland has only just reclaimed the crown city with Hyzant's help, not to mention restored relations with them. Ordinarily, such a thing would be unthinkable, but the rumors are so persistent that I think something may be afoot.
For example?
I wouldn't be so restless if I had an example to give.
Hesfrost gathers its troops at Twinsgate. Might they have heard the rumors as well?
Perhaps a battle for the very soul of Nozelia may loom on the horizon. But therein lies the opportunity for merchants like us. You can't wage war without a surfeit of supplies.
You're quite right about that.
And each shift in Nozelia's power balance opens new business opportunities.
Will the consortium continue trading with Hyzant?
It is difficult to say. I believe House Wolffort's actions from here on will be key to the consortium's decision.
House Wolffort, you say?
Indeed, they've been involved in most every conflict between the three nations on this continent. Why stop now? I shall wait and see how Lord Serenoa responds first, lest I make any hasty decisions.
I am gladdened to see each and every one of you, my ironclad brothers in arms, here at Twinsgate. I have asked you here to tell you of a most fortuitous discovery. We have found crystals of salt deep in the Grand Norzelian mines. Alas, Glenbrook has taken those very mines from us. What's worse, Glenbrook's esteemed House Wolffort is led by one of the saintly seven of Hyzant. They will no doubt be informed of the salt crystal, and then their precious religion will be shaken to its core. I trust you can all imagine how Hyzant will respond to such an affront. They will not go quietly, but will indeed seek the crystals for themselves, that their reign of terror may continue unimpeded. Therefore, we must subdue Glenbrook and seize the mines for Hesfrost if we are to counter this grave threat. But we cannot stop there, for that will only draw Hyzant to our gates. They will stop at nothing to conquer all of Norzelia in their name. The Duchy has never been in a more precarious position. But we will not yield. We subscribe to no faith, and we bend the knee for no king. We shall greet our enemies at Twinsgate with cold, hard steel. Our newest weapon, the Death's Knell, is nearly complete. With it, we shall strike back at Hyzant. The false goddess shall crumble beneath the sheer force of our iron will, and Hyzant reduced to rubble along with her. Raise your swords, my black iron heroes! Your names shall be cast in iron when the histories of this day are written. you shall be known as the Defenders of Esfrost!
All the guys.
For Esfrost!
Esfrost!
Oh yes, the death knell will reduce many a falsehood to rubble, dear Gustadolph.
Izant has learned of the salt crystals. Minister Exarm of the Saintly Seven wastes no time in mustering his army, which now marches on the Grand Norzelian mines.
One moment.
Yeah, any more shouting and I would have gone to the street. Elsewhere, Gustadolph amasses his own forces at Twinsgate in anticipation of the war to come. All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland and Serenoa's pronouncement could touch off a battle for the soul of Norzelia. After much deliberation, Roland makes his way to Castle Wolffort to inform Serenoa of the decision that now weighs heavy on his heart.
Appreciate you coming all this way, Roland.
I was the one who asked for your time, so it is only natural that I make the journey. I wish to tell you that I finally made up my mind.
And I would hear your decision. You're willing to share with me.
I've long pondered over the one thing that Norzelia needs most. I thought back on the Salt Iron War. 30 years have passed. The root of our conflict remains the same. Each nation still thinks only of itself, wishing to fill its coffers even at the expense of others. Who bears the brunt of such a war?
People.
Exactly so. The avarice of the ruler is an existential threat to their loyal subjects.
Yet, without that wealth, the people suffer just as much. They languish in poverty.
This much is obvious. But there can be no winner without a loser. Remove one and you necessarily remove the other. If we achieve equality, we achieve peace.
And how do you propose we achieve... No. No, surely you don't mean...
Yes, the goddess's teachings. All can live as equals under the goddess, an authority greater than any king. The model nation was in front of us all along, Serenoa, the holy state of Hyzant. I've decided that we must give the salt crystals to the Grand Norzelian mines to Hyzant.
In so doing, you give them control of all Nozelia.
Exactly. There will be no more squabbling over salt, Norzelia will know eternal peace at last.
Unequal peace, surely. Unbuilt on the backs of people like the Rizal, if not the Rizal themselves.
I'm not blind to that fact. So few will suffer for the good of so many. Nothing in this world is perfect, Serenoa. Sacrifice of the few for the good of the many. The only clear answer. One I would give every time were I asked.
Submitting to the goddess would rob you of your kingship.
So be it. My crown, my pride. They are all but small prices to pay for peace.
You're truly prepared to throw it all away.
Join me, Serenoa. Let us unite Nozelia under the Holy State.
Roland, this is quite sudden.
I understand. Pray, take all the time you need. I expect Frederica will want nothing to do with this plan, seeing as it forsakes her people. I am already mourning the rift this may cause between you. But I shall not be swayed. This will be my final act as Glenbrook's king.
King Roland's anguish plays plainly across his face. It pains me to see him so tortured.
I am not surprised. The future of a kingdom, to say nothing of an entire continent, rests upon his shoulders.
Pray tell, what do you intend to do about the salt crystals?
In truth, I cannot decide. Salt is too precious to be hoarded, but a duty to share with the people, which is...
Where the difficulty lies, yes. The source makes that all too clear. Salt lies at the heart of every war in Nozelia.
Without the balanced salt to see Rosalian legend still existed, there was no need of conflict if there were a source of salts for all.
My love, if I may, the discovery of the salt crystals has made two things plain to me. The first is that my mother spoke true in the legend she passed on to me. And the
others that the goddess's teachings are nothing more than a lie, built to constrain your people.
Just so. We are guilty of nothing. Yet the Roselle languish in the source, where they are looked down upon and forced to work until they die. Entire generations lost. Countless lives given to Hyzant's cruelty. Cruelty created to justify Hyzant's own avarice and lust for power.
Such is the ugly lie at the heart of their teachings.
One revealed by a crystal of the mineral they hold so dear. The time has come, Serenoa. The Roselle must be freed. The salt crystals have brought us to the brink of war. We can harness this unrest, incite the Roselle to rise up and rebel against their captors.
I'm with you. Believe me, I am. But you make it sound so...
simple. Yes, I know, but the suffering of my people is so distant for everyone else. We can no longer wait for someone to do the right thing. Help isn't coming. Why else would my own mother incite rebellion? We are alone.
I swear to you, none of this feels distant to me. Roselle live in my domain. I'm betrothed to you, my dear. I couldn't feel any closer.
And I thank the stars that I have you by my side. I do. In truth, that's why I think this time will be different. Why I'll be able to accomplish what my mother could not.
I agree, but the risk is immense. Suppose we succeed, what then? Hyzant would not let us go quietly.
Of course not.
When that time comes, we'll lead Roselle to Centralia. This is your mother wrote about in the book she left behind. Beyond the Great Falls in the Fox Domain, the end of Nozelia River. Ancestral home of the Roselle.
But that's just a legend.
When you found one legend to be rooted in truth, perhaps this one is as well. If not, at least you'll be safe from harm.
I doubt Benedict will share our feelings, though. Abandoning all we've built to embark on a journey fraught with danger, in search of a legend. Yet no matter how perilous the path ahead, I would happily walk it at your side.
I trust you understand what a monumental effect the discovery of these salt crystals will have on Norzelia's history. Whatever course of action we choose will determine whether House Wolffort leaves a legacy in that history or is expunged from it.
How would you proceed, Benedict?
I would do all I could to keep it from falling into Hyzant's hands. They already control the source. With the crystals in hand, they will solidify their grip on the realm, and in time, dominate it. The siren song of a false equality under their goddess shall blanket the land, claiming every domain and its people.
And though to count me among the saintly seven?
Even then, for that matters little when the equality they espouse is dictated by the goddess, or should I say, the Hierophant. In the end, they will have the same life and death control over all Norzelia that they now hold over the Roselle.
Now wounds from the battle with Esfrost have only begun to heal. Hyzant will destroy us if we wage war against them in our current state.
But they stand little chance against us if we ally with Esfrost.
Ally with Are you of sound mind, Benedict?
Quite. Think about it for a moment. Esfrost wants nothing more than to loosen Hyzant's grip. They will go to war if it means control of the salt crystals.
Interests are broadly aligned, yes, but...
Esfrost has been building toward precisely that purpose for some time now.
You speak of the Death Snail, the weapon that Cordelia mentioned.
Precisely. A weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield to rubble, leaving Hyzant's capital ripe for the taking. Without that weapon, we cannot win. You need only say the word, and I shall convince Esfrost to join our side.
I appreciate your candor, Benedict. I do not doubt you could secure us Esfrost's cooperation. I fear the hard fights within our own domain. King Roland's heart would not be easily won.
I bid you listen closely and calmly to what I am about to ask.
And whence this somber tone?
Do you believe King Roland is fit to rule?
What are you implying?
Decorum is of little use when the fate of our realm is at stake, Lord Serenoa. Are you content to spend the rest of your life in servitude to another?
Not another word, Benedict. Roland's more than my king. He's my friend.
And you are Lord of House Wolffort, whose military prowess is known to all Norzelia. Not the guard dog of Glenbrook and Hyzant. What else are you here to do if not to protect your house and keep its banner aloft? But you have the potential for so much more. All Norzelia could be yours if you but desired it.
Treason. Not outright regicide. These are your suggestions?
Of course not. The blood in your veins and the royal family's ring are claim enough to the throne. There is no need for violence.
Told you not to speak of that again.
But you did not tell me to forget. The time to reckon with your lineage draws near. You must make it.
I heard enough. Leave me.
Just know that I will do anything you ask of me, Lord Serenoa. I pray that you make the right choice, Not only for House Wolffort, but for yourself.
There is certain Hyzen's army marches for the Grand Nozelian mines.
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
As Frost's army gathers at Twinsgate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There is no need to prepare for war. I have decided we will surrender the salt crystals, the holy state of Hyzat.
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals, which is why I have chosen the path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzen's dominion over Nozelia's salt is why are we in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Roselle not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
She speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzant's goddess free reign of Norzelia. Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. Small price to pay, in my eyes, in exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
And the sacrifice of the Roselle, is that a small price to you?
It is.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Esfrost and strike back at Hyzant. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolph to join us.
Ally with Esfrost? You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people. So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered!
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt. And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort?
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
No. I've heard that before. Your due time is never. And I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more. All else is in disarray. If Hyzant seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you.
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk. Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hughette will rain down upon us?
As Frost would pounce, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolffort domain.
Silence! Heard enough to know where each of you stand. Y'all hold the courage of your own convictions?
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. I know that a choice must be made. There can only be one way forward. Face the scales of conviction. Prepare to make peace with the outcome. The vote we take today may well open a rift between us. Nevertheless, we must proceed. I'm prepared to accept this outcome.
Lord Serena, I cannot help but feel that our greatest battle lies ahead, regardless of which path you choose. I know this may not be the best time to say so, but my wife gave birth to our first child not a few days ago.
You are a father before a soldier. It's your duty to protect your own house before that of Wolffort.
Lord Serena, you would allow me to leave House Wolffort at a time like this.
But of course, before you do though, allow me to thank you for all you have done for our house. Wish you and your family every happiness.
Thank you, Lord Serena. It's been an honor to call you my lord.
Frank.
To think, King Roland, Lady Frederica and Sir Benedict's convictions would diverge so greatly after all this time. Just between you and me, Lord Serenoa, what do you make of their plans?
Frederica's wish is a humane one. She desires to liberate those who have been cruelly oppressed.
Aye, but in reality, humans usually only act in their own best interest, even if it means turning a blind eye to the suffering of others. Lady Frederica is a strong woman to stand up for what is right.
I couldn't agree more. Ignoring their plight now would be shameful, especially knowing what we do of their innocence.
Everyone's choices are deeply rooted in their convictions. It makes me wonder if they'll be able to abide by the Scale's decision. Lord Serenoa, it will fall to you to lead everyone down the right path.
Of course. Wish for all of us to walk astride the same path as we always have. Right, get ready to vote.
I kind of want to stand with Frederica just because of that speech.
Ooh, it's getting cold in this chat.
It was so good.
Yeah, she went
Can I
off.
just say the acting tonight?
Slay.
Thank you. I love it when I get tears in my eyes from yelling.
Yeah. That's the best.
Meanwhile, Benedict 9000 over here, just same monotone voice.
Well, the most logical strategy would be.
Yes.
It's like
I'm
people are
sorry.
dying, but
I'm sorry, Freddy, but I can't do that.
I do love how, after all this time, Roland still makes it about himself and sacrificing himself.
Yeah. He was saying, how could you make me side with the people who killed my father? Right after he was going to forsake all of the Roselle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not.
But it's
siding
different
with
when it's
Roland.
my feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's not. It's not the same. It's me.
I think
not
there's a
you.
bit of a difference between stopping in internment camps and going for big boy point. Personal onion. But the scales will show us the way.
Unless Cloud decides to make
this
another
is
executive
horrible.
decision.
Yeah,
He knows shit, man.
One.
He knows shit. We would have totally missed Serenoa's dad dying if he did not yeet that last election.
That's true.
Yeah.
We don't know what we don't know.
No.
Too true.
Well, we
Exactly.
don't know.
We don't even know what we missed by not going to the other two.
That's true.
Yeah.
We can vaguely guess.
you just look at the walkthroughs. It's fine.
Would we have not... Wait, we have not found out that they're brothers?
Oh yeah, we
we
wouldn't
know
have found that out either.
Probably not.
Only
Oh,
Serenoa
yeah,
and Benedict
yeah.
know that, I think.
No, but like if we didn't choose that path, would we have not found out?
And then you
Because the only reason why we know is because his father said it as his dying words.
Yeah.
So if we didn't go to see his dad.
Dang.
Then we'd still be like, oh, but what if Serenoa and Roland...
And you'd unknowingly be supporting incest then.
Stop.
But like, because I mean, this scenario.
To be fair, we were unknowingly doing it the entire time.
The entire time.
Like, this scenario has Benedict
Explain the game.
bringing up the point that's like,
Pose up.
what's it called? Serenoa is partial to king, so he
I will not count the vote for Frederica, Roland, and Benedict.
Wait, what?
As the Ori.
Wait, what was that?
Not
They
counting.
stand firm.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, so we don't vote. All right.
Oh, so Roselle votes don't matter?
You
Sorry.
can't vote, you won. You can't vote, you won. I'm just gonna count it.
I mean, I was just gonna vote for... I was
Well,
gonna
I'm
do
going
the,
with
like,
what
this is
Benedict
my character would
wants.
vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
I feel a certain performance has swayed a majority of votes.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, also like internment camps versus military prowess, man. I mean, also Kyle's an amazing actor, but that's
Yeah.
You guys are all amazing. I so enjoyed listening to you all. It's like the highlight of my week. Oh my god, you guys are amazing.
God, I knew this session was going to be so
Aw.
much fun.
It looks like everyone has already decided.
CJ, what is up with them?
Each path before us demands a great sacrifice in exchange for a great reward. I am sure King Roland, Benedict, and Frederica have agonized over their proposals. So now we must agonize over our own decisions.
I wish to place my faith in Frederica's vision.
I must say I'm surprised by your support of Frederica's vision. I've been by her side for years, but even I must admit it is rather hopeful, if I'm being charitable. Perhaps you see something I do not?
The Zelia will forever be plagued by war. of wish to lead this place, create a new nation that knows only peace.
You mean to forsake not only your domain, but all Norzelia? I concede that Hyzant will not admit defeat should we manage to free the Roselle. Do you truly believe that searching for Centralia, starting anew, will prove any easier?
I do, though I acknowledge that it's far easier said than done.
I should say so. It sounds like a daydream, if I may speak so plainly. Yet the world is vast and full of wonders. I cannot in good faith argue that Centralia does not exist. Perhaps forging ahead is the only answer. May it lead us to the future you dream of, if this is what you desire. If nothing else, as Frederica's attendant, I must say that it warms my heart to see you support her so diligently. You must truly love her.
Here we stand after a bitter fight to reclaim the Crown City, only for the king to speak of forsaking it. As a subject, it is my duty to follow his decree, and yet, my lord, the choice before us feels immense. I am utterly adrift. Pray, tell me how you see the proposals from King Roland and the others. I need your guidance.
I wish to place my faith in Frederica's vision.
You've taken Frederica's side in all this? What fascination do the Roselle hold for you, my lord?
There's no better time to free the Roselle than now, while Aesfrost and Hyzant squabble over the salt crystals.
With that, you answer the question I asked, my lord. I say again, what fascination do the Roselle hold for you? And what makes it worth the lives of your people and the sanctity of your domain?
We know that the Roselle but exploited innocents. We cannot turn a blind eye to their suffering. You deserve justice, Hughette.
Yes, Hyzant sits suspended atop a web of lies, but setting them right will ruin the people of the Wolffort domain. And the true lord does not forsake his people.
Benedict and King Roland would march us to war. Frederica would see Hyzant hunt us for all eternity. Perhaps our vision is not so different. So it's come to this. Ally with a one-time opponent, or flee with the Roselle. Bold proposals, all. Our tactics must be flawless.
I wish to place my faith in Frederica's vision.
So you assent to Frederica's vision for the future. War is coming. A war for all Norzelia. And you would forfeit your role in it?
The death knell the Africa unleashed on the battlefield. The casualties will eclipse any war that's come before.
The death knell. And the Alfric? The casualties would be immense. I had not considered that they might be unleashed simultaneously. The stakes warrant it. whether they're complete or not. We have already shown them the way by using Elfric in battle.
Precisely. You'll undoubtedly both be employed.
Unprecedented destruction is all that awaits us here. A war whose victor will rule over a pile of ash.
Not be party to such devastation. I think of far more productive uses for such power.
I see your reasoning. I confess, I thought only in terms of battles past. So much so, that I forgot avoiding battle was ever an option.
Our sweat and bloods fed this land, built it into a proper domain. I see no reason why we should surrender it all to Hyzant. And Lady Frederica, while I sympathize, asks that we risk everything for the sake of the Roselle. Benedict's got the right of it, I reckon. But even that doesn't quite the nagging feeling I get every time I think about our options.
Wish to place my faith in Frederica's vision.
How could you possibly support Lady Frederica's vision? Have you gone mad?
The war will never end so long as we hold the salt crystals. We must relinquish them and break the cycle of violence.
The salt is the source of a lot of trouble, yes. But there's precious little we can do about it. Anyone in Norzalia would tell you the same.
I'm well aware of our situation, Erador. I tire of fighting. We cannot go on like this. I beg you, join me in finding another way forward.
You've precious little idea how much I sympathize. And I want to help you. But Lady Frederica's vision is... it's fantasy. And a foolhardy one at that. You can beg till you're blue in the face, but I doubt you'll win much support.
It's time to cast our votes. The opinions before us are many. Roland's, Frederica's, Benedict's. Which to choose. Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
I have made up my mind. I stand with you, Lord Serenoa.
I put my faith in you, Lord Serenoa.
This is the path I choose, Lord Serenoa.
I'm sorry, lad, but my gut tells me this is the right path.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen. The way forward is decided. Frederica's dream is worth realizing. We're free to resolve from the source.
A tumultuous meeting exposes a yawning chasm between Roland, Frederica, and Benedict's visions for the future. Yet only one will emerge victorious, for such is the custom of House Wolffort. As ever, The scales of conviction have the final word. The time has come for judgments to be rendered and leaders to steel themselves for the outcome.
You have chosen a path. We are free to resolve from being held in Hyzant's source.
You have chosen the one path I cannot take.
I understand your disappointment, Benedict. The scales have spoken. And so I ask for your wisdom. Help us find a way to free the Roselle.
Hyzant will destroy everything you hold dear if you attempt to free them. That way lies ruin. Your choice is to turn your back on this house, to cast aside your land and the people who have built their lives upon it. I will not, I cannot endorse such betrayal.
I read that we'll be ill prepared to defend a domain this way. Should that come to pass, I'm prepared to flee the Roselle and search for Centralia. You say it is home to a balanced salted sea. Truly it's a land where none need fight for salt is a land worth seeking. This is an opportunity, Benedict. We could find a new home instead of fighting the wars of old yet again.
Why not channel that resolve to lead the people of Norzelia as their king? You hold the power and the might. You lack only the will. With the salt crystals in hand, you shall ascend the throne. I shall see to it that you are coronated. Then we can liberate the Roselle, or whatever else your heart desires.
Liberate the Roselle or whatever else. Never dreamed I would hear such callous words fall from your lips.
I stand by them. I care only that you and the legacy of House Wolffort are safe and secure. I shall offer my counsel by force if needed.
You don't mean to fight the lad.
Stand down, Benedict.
No, Anna! This is a challenge that I must accept.
I beg you to reconsider. If you mean to proceed with this folly, then you will do so over my dead body. You can do so much more, Lord Serenoa. The salt crystals give you the upper hand. Esfrost and Hyzant would bend their knee to you. You can unite all Norzelia under your rule.
You're right about me, Benedict. I lack the will. I have no desire to rule Norzelia. I wish to see an oppressed people set free and nothing more.
At what cost? Would you see your loyal subjects conquered by another nation?
I would forfeit my lordship. The people of Wolffort would endure without me. The Roselle have no such champion for their cause. We're the only ones who can set them free.
Give me the order, and I shall reduce Hyzant to rubble. Then they shall be free.
ensuing battle will only breed further resentment, or worse, displace others who will be treated like the Roselle. War cannot solve every problem, and our liberation of Roselle should prove as much.
So you now take blind counsel from your betrothed. To think that an arranged marriage would lead to this folly.
Enough! I came to this conclusion of my own free will. I've seen the challenges that have faced Nozelia. This is how I choose to respond.
You are every inch Lady Destra's child. Your compassion steers you headlong into every conflict. Alas, compassion is easily trampled. It can only exist so long as it has an army at its back. My patience grows thin, Lord Serenoa. The salt crystals give you the power to bring peace to Nozelia.
You're wrong. It's little more than a catalyst for another protracted war.
A war we can win! Let me lead you to victory!
There's always a war to be won. Do you not see how this cycle at work? Or break that cycle and use my power to liberate the oppressed.
You talk of fleeing from your duty, of pure fantasy!
We need you, Benedict. Why can you not put our differences aside?
This is absurd. You race toward your own destruction, and I will not be party to it. Lord Simone entrusted me with the future of this house. And I swore an oath to Lady Destra that I would protect you, no matter what the cost.
You're shackled to the past, Benedict.
I would call it loyalty.
And it has come to this. For the sake of our future, I must strike you down.
Prepare yourself! I yield. Grant me the mercy of a swift death.
No. Neither father nor mother would stand for the killing of a loyal retainer. The rest of us shall make our way to Hyzant, in secret. You will remain here. Lead the people out of Wolffort domain before the Hyzantian army assaults this castle. Keep them safe.
These are your orders, in exchange for sparing my life.
These are not orders. There's no exchange to be made. This is the last thing I will ever ask you as my steward, a loyal friend of House Wolffort.
And so you follow in the footsteps of Lord Simone and Lady Destra. Leaving me behind with the most arduous tasks. I shall rise to the occasion, my lord. I shall do whatever is required to see that the Wolffort name and its people survive. Should House Wolffort lose its lord, I shall lead the house forward in your stead.
No doubt you will.
Benedict.
Mule-headed fool.
We each made our choices. Now we must walk the path we believe is right.
Yes.
King Roland, this decision means casting Glenbrook aside. I know I cannot ask you to come with me, but will you agree to see the salt crystals?
No. I am sorry, my friend, but I am not worthy to oversee such an important task.
Of course you are. We're striving to be fair and just.
Hold me too much and too high in regard. Our conversation earlier made me realize the truth. My faith was misguided, as were my actions. I believed exacting vengeance upon Frost would be proof enough I was Glenbrook's rightful king. But I gave no thought to the bloody cost of revenge. This kingdom and its subjects should not have to suffer such a selfish fool upon the throne.
Then, you would come with me?
I shall. Not as your king, but as your friend. Glenbrook has the geographical advantage and the salt crystals. There are a small handful of trustworthy nobles remaining. I am certain they will ensure the people thrive, even without a king. Glenbrook is in too powerful a position for foreign powers to interfere.
Roland.
You know you aren't leaving me behind. I've come this far by your side. I'm not abandoning you now.
You have my thanks, Hughette.
Frederica, don't you think you ought to make your convictions clear to your companions?
Well, it's common knowledge by now that I am an Frosty of Rosellan descent. I was a lonely child who hated that her hair was a different color from everyone else. But then I joined House Wolffort. I met Jerome and witnessed the cruelty that my fellow Roselle suffered at the source. And I learned how brave my mother was, how long and hard she fought for her people's freedom. Compared to the horrors they went through, I have lived a life of privilege and comfort. I am proud to be a Rosellan, and proud to be a Wolffort. I wish to be strong like my lady mother before me. And I wish to see her dream of freeing our people fulfilled. I understand the difficulties that lie ahead. But I hope I might have you all with me.
We'll always be there beside you, Frederica.
My lord, Hyzan's army has sent a message ahead of their forces. It says, the Grand Nazilian mines must be conferred to the goddess as a divine offering.
An offering? Sounds more like an ultimatum.
Precisely. If we refuse to relinquish the mines, but put the Wolffort domain to the sword.
Then we've no time to waste. We must make ready to leave at once.
Benedict.
I leave the rest in your hands, Anna.
All these years, I have watched you. I may not be able to replace you, but I will do my best.
Loath as I am to burden you with such responsibility, that is heartening.
This ain't the Benedict I know. Come on. Where's your usual glower?
You never change.
Ha! I should hope not. Defendant House Wolffort calls for consistency. And defend House Wolffort I shall, even in your absence.
I shall hold you to it. Both of you.
I'm telling you, we've got it under control.
Your voice hasn't gotten any quieter.
Sorry. Parting ways with a friend always gets me worked up.
Thank you for seeing me off, you two. Farewell.
What are the Byzantine forces?
They haven't entered the domain yet. If we act now, we could sneak around them and reach the capital.
Focused as they are on seizing the salt crystal deposits, I'd wager their domestic defenses are at a minimum.
If we can get into the capital and have the Roselle and the Source take up arms, we should stand a fair chance of helping them escape.
But Hughette is wary of Serenoa for keeping the salt crystals from them, despite his position as one of the Saintly Seven. They may be short-handed, but if they spot him, we'll never make it inside.
We can use the consortium card to slip unnoticed into the capital.
The wagon from Clarus. You sure we can trust the consortium?
Yes. If only because this benefits both us and him. In exchange, I told him what secrets we learned at Esros and Hughette.
You mean you told him of Dragon's murder and the illicit salt trade? I hope he understands those secrets must never leave his lips.
He understands. Once people learn the salt crystals, Roselia will change. And the consortium will have a new role to serve. Now that they know, they will be better prepared to negotiate their position. They agreed to help us as a show of gratitude.
Without this do. Well done, Anna.
What of our things, Geela?
Stored safely within the cart, of course.
Things? What things?
The explosives we found in the tunnel.
After we've gotten the Roselle to rise up, we'll set sail from the harbor and make for the Falk's domain, to the Great Falls. To make sure no one follows us, we'll blow up all the other ships in the harbor as we leave.
Frederica and I devised the plan ourselves.
way to make an escape with so many people.
Wise of you to make for the Wolffort's domain. It's distant enough. You'll have plenty of time to hide.
Aye. About as far south as you could get. No better place in your end goal, Centralia, too.
It's a good plan. We should do what we can to make sure it succeeds.
Crafty as ever, you Wolfforts. I'm glad to be on your side.
But one problem remains. How do we get the Roselle in the source to turn against their captors? If you can't win their trust, all this is for naught.
We need some way of persuading them, and quickly, too.
Let me worry about that. I can find the words to convince them. I am my mother's daughter, after all.
Alright. I know you figured something out, Frederica.
There is one more thing. Hughette, I'll need to send a bird.
Of course, Pieman. Where to?
The Rosellan village. I'd like to tell Jerome and the others of our plan. I would have them meet us at the Great Falls.
Agreeing to such a thing means they will have to give up the lives they enjoy now. Think they will come?
I cannot say. Regardless, I owe it to them to let them know Hyzant is invading.
Indeed. Let us send word and see what they have to say.
Upon learning of the salt crystal deposits, Hyzant quickly musters her forces. They march upon the Wolffort domain, intent on seizing control of the mine. Serenoa decides to take this as an opportunity to free the Roselle enslaved at the source. But that decision leads to Benedict's departure from House Wolffort. Still grappling with grief over parting ways with their friend, Serenoa and the others make for the Hyzantian capital. There, amidst a land in turmoil, they hope to help the Roselle rise up against their oppressors.
So bad news. I think I wrote the wrong save. Yep, wrong save. It has Fidelity on it.
Whoa.
Oh, don't worry.
So what does that mean?
That's cool though. Cordelia can join us. Not right now.
Yes. Perhaps there must be another way. Wait, we'll fast forward to some of this.
Oh, I gotta go through the scene again.
No.
Benedict, you bastard!
I'm sorry, but I cannot do that. Your mother would be so... You're just like your mother.
Brothers?
Not enough to know where each of you stand. Y'all hold the courage of your own convictions.
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. Would ask for some time to think on the matter. I understand you treat you keenly, my friends. You have not arrived at these decisions lightly. Do not doubt your convictions. Yet choosing any of the options before me risks creating a schism among the others. I cannot afford to lose any of you, not after how far we've come. Which leaves me only one option. There must be another way. Nay, must given so readily. There must be another way. One that would bind us together, that tears asunder. Now then, find it. Certainties first, we cannot afford to relinquish control of the salt crystals to any one nation. Salt necessarily belongs to the people. At that point, I shall not waver. There must be a way to bring about the lasting peace Roland desires without the need for Hyzan's warped teachings. Hyzan moves to take the grand Ozelian minds as I contemplate this. It must be stopped. They'll no doubt make an ostentatious show of power and attempt to intimidate us. What's worse, they'll soon be at our door, and we'll not defeat them with our own army alone. Surely there's a way we can hold them off. The wildfire. Of course! We'll draw them into the village and set the vast majority of their forces alight. The Hierophant would never relent, however. Hyzan would bear down upon us with the full force of their army. No chance of winning a protracted war. Hyzan must fall, and quickly. We need Esfrost. We need the Death Snail. 'Tis the only way we'll pierce the goddess' shield. Hardly relish the thought of asking Gustadolph to come to our aid. No doubt demand assault crystals in return. Might help us get our hands on that weapon. Lord Svarrock, yes! He swore to fight alongside us. It's time to make good on his word. We share a common enemy in Gustadolph. He'll be a boon. It's still the matter of how we invade Hyzan and incite the Roselle to rebel. Yes, we blast away the statue and reveals Hyzan's lies for all to see. Rosellan legends are true, and an enormous pillar of salt rests within the goddess' shield statue. Revealing that would prove that the Roselle spoke truth all these years. Goddess and Hierophant alike will lose all claim to authority, leaving it open to revolt from United Roselle. And now with the means to make their explosives that will bring Hyzan to his knees. Just one problem remains. How will we manage to pass through the goddess' shield? No bandit could pass into Hyzan without arousing suspicion. Unless... There no banner at all. The consortium, of course. One glimpse of the salt crystals ought to bring Clarus to the table. So long as I play to his self-interest, the rest will follow. I have it. I found a way to give everyone what they want most, in one foul swoop. The salt crystals will belong to all, not just a privileged few. The people of Nozella will finally be lords and ladies of their own making. Masters of their own destinies. Benedict's fervent desire to protect the domain's integrity. Roland's yearning for equity. Frederica's resolve to free her people. I hear you all, my friends. You're not alone. Nor are the countless others who look to me at this late hour. If ever there was a time to heed my father's last words, it is now. I must forge my own path and lead my people. The scales cannot save us this time. The words of my closest confidants have revealed a way forward that the scales never could. All that remains is to convince them to follow me down the path I have made. As Lord of House Wolffort, I solemnly swear an oath by which all future lords shall be bound. I will never turn my back on the promise of a better world.
Thus did Serenoa ascertain the scale's true purpose. Taking up the mantle of his late father, Lord Simone, and the ill-fated Dragan, Serenoa returns to present his allies with a bold new vision for Norzelia's future.
I've made up my mind. Return the salt crystals over to no one, and we do not keep them for ourselves. Instead, we distribute them equally to every person across Nozelia and change the face of the continent.
Do you hear yourself?
Do you mean this sincerely, Serenoa?
What of the Roselle?
I speak my conscience. I promise I've not forgotten the Roselle. Pray, grant me the time to explain my strategy. I must put an end to the teachings if we are to release the salt to all Nozelians. Which is to say, the Holy State of Hughette must fall.
So we have to take up Benedict's proposal?
No. I propose we attack on 3 separate fronts.
At the same time?
We use our domain's wildfire to prevent Hughette from capturing the mines. Meanwhile, I wish to negotiate an accord with Esfros, to force us use of the death snail, know full well the risk involved. However, I believe we can convince Varrog, who opposes the Archduke, an alliance is worthwhile. Finally, expose the falsehoods that prop up Hughzette's precious teachings, incite another Rosalian uprising. In one fell swoop, we can abase the Hierophant and throw the capital into chaos. That accomplished, we shall sack the Holy State with Esfros at our side. With both the source and the crystals in our possession, no one in Nozelia would ever want for salt. We can bring peace, equity, and stability to all Nozelia, just as Roland envisioned. We can restore the Wolffort name to its former glory and usher it into a new era as Benedict desires. An era, my dear Frederica, which the Roselle shall be free, once and for all. What I ask may sound impossible, but we have survived long odds before. Let us cling together and do so once again. Do any present have objections to the path that I've set before us?
None from me, lad. You've quickened the very blood in my veins.
Permit me to speak plainly, Your Majesty. I am in agreement with Lord Serenoa.
We cannot dream our desires into reality. Some things must be fought for and won.
You've tried your way, Benedict. This time, we tried something new.
I say you 3.
I am ashamed to admit that my obsession with the domain's safety may have blinded me to more aggressive solutions. Your plan is audacious, perhaps even reckless, but it is not impossible, and may well be worth the risk. House Wolffort is better for having you at its helm, Lord Serenoa.
The fate of my people always felt so small compared to the war raging around us. Yet you would still choose to walk a dangerous path rather than cast the Roselle aside. It would be my honor to fight alongside you and see this through.
Roland. Sorry. I honestly thought Hyacinth would rule better than I could, that they would bring prosperity to Norzelia. I shrank from my duties and lost myself to the idea of revenge upon Gustadolph. I may well have betrayed my own kingdom. You, Serenoa, opened my eyes to the truth. And for you, my friend, as King of Glenbrook, I shall face any enemy and lead our people to glory.
Then you are going to lead us to Scales. Our path is decided. From here on out, we shall split into 3 regiments. Allow me to explain the role each has to play. Pray that clarify what each regiment needs to do. Prolong the war, risk slowly driving the 3 kingdoms to ruin, and starving the people in the process. Not to mention all involved will lose sight of what they're fighting for, if they haven't already.
Agreed. It is for the good of all that we bring it to a swift and decisive end.
And so we find ourselves contemplating war on 3 fronts.
Hyacinth and Esfrost aren't expecting such drastic action from us. The element of surprise may deliver us victory.
As for the lead of each regiment involved in this gambit.
I shall lure the Hyzantian army to their doom here at Castle Wolffort.
Svarog knows who I am. He swore he would fight alongside me. I shall depart for Esfrost and hold him to his word.
Pray, let me be the one to journey to Hyacinth. I would love nothing more than to expose their false idol for all to see, and lead my people to rebel in the name of freedom.
Then I shall secure the help of Clarus and the Consortium, in exchange for information about their salt crystals. Yes, secrete you inside the capital and provide you with explosive enough to fell the goddess. Though we fight in distant fronts, we're bound together in spirit. We fight to the last. For Norzelia!
For
Norzelia! Kinda got caught off guard with that line. I didn't know we were gonna say it.
Oh, yeah.
I was expecting a Scooby-Doo laugh before. Oh, meanwhile.
Justin.
No, it can't be. General Aflora of the Esfrosti army?
Former General, I come to you now as a citizen of Norzelia, nothing more. I come to House Wolffort in search of sanctuary. I beg you, have mercy.
Sorry.
I beg you, have the mercy to take me in.
Wait here.
General Laura, we thought you missing.
Indeed, it was your actions that caused my brief disappearance, though I bear no grudge for how the battle ended. This time, however, I come to you with a humble request. I wish to join your ranks, if you'll have me.
You wish to defect? To what end?
That we may bring this fraught and fractious chapter of Norzelia's history to a close. I would see those of Lady Cordelia's generation preside over an era of peace and tranquility. You've every right to doubt me when I say Lady Cordelia has touched me. But I swore to be her sword forevermore. not as Frost's.
We've long been enemies, taken much from us in Esfrost's name. Maybe to be many things, General of Lore, but a schemer and a liar not among them. I trust that you speak true. Your talk of a swift end to this conflict appeals to me. We're of the same mind.
My lord.
Nevertheless, there remains bad blood between us. There may be some within our ranks who are less than pleased to see you.
I expect there will be. I understand their hurt and have made my peace with it. I will suffer their slings and arrows gladly, if it means bringing peace to Norzelia.
I admire your conviction. In truth, we have already arrived at our decision. Your strength is a boon we can neither hope to replicate nor replace. I welcome you, General of Lore, to House Wolffort.
My sword is yours, Lord Serenella.
Now, Serenella, let us divide House Wolffort into 3 regiments.
I leave the allocation of forces in your capable hands.
Choose wisely. Once the plan is in motion, we won't have the luxury of adjusting our strategy.
Understood. My friends, we would choose this together. Frederica, Benedict, Roland, you get to choose your own regiment.
Oh, it's like
Turn your attention to the war room.
Everyone's involved!
Oh god, wow.
Wait, what was the last thing you said, Cloud?
It's like
Turn your
Duckbot.
attention to the war room. I'm about to post a link.
Oh my god.
We're gonna have a live draft.
dodgeball.
Yeah,
it's like dodgeball all over again.
If you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
This is sick.
I was gonna make a really bad joke just
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I'm actually pretty. This is pretty hype.
No, actually,
I'm not
think-
even part of this, and I'm so hyped. This is
I'm
pretty
looking
hype.
forward to this.
Just look at all this work Sereno put in
Damn.
outside of the session.
Bro's going all
Zoom
out.
Jeez.
Oh,
It's so
it's
big.
Hold
so
on. We're gonna
it's so
decide a draft order, so get ready to choose a number.
Wait. Sorry. I wasn't on it yet. Oh my god, okay.
Oh my god.
This
Wait,
is.
what?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Benedict, Frederica, Roland, type in the number between 1 and 50 in the
1
chat.
and 50?
Oh, this
Yes.
is bringing back
In general
Yes,
or war
like Final
room?
Fantasy 6. War room.
Okay.
in the war room.
1 and
okay.
50.
1 in 50.
Oh god.
I'm literally shitting.
Yeah, I'm so fucking
James
nervous.
sitting.
I know my blood pressure just went. Okay.
Diet Coke keep me sane.
I'm so glad I'm not making these choices.
Yo!
Alright, looks like Frederica has first choice, followed by Nolan, then Benedict. But we're not gonna pick yet. Take 5 or 3 minutes to look over the sheets, grab some water, think about your choices. Think about where we're gonna fight, because that's gonna make a big difference.
Oh, we have to choose where to fight as well?
No, I'm just saying that consider the environment where you're gonna be fighting. Because Benedict, you'll be defending Castle Wolffort.
Oh.
With all the tall buildings. And think about who you might be fighting.
Tall buildings?
Yeah, remember where we fight General of Lore?
Oh, yes. Okay.
I'm trying to
And how you might be using fire traps? You're probably finding someone from the Saintly 7 as a boss. You know, Hugh from Saintly 7? in the cutscene could be Exham. He's riding a horse.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And horses are weak against lances.
Yes.
So, yeah, just give you some thought. Roland, you'd be probably facing Gustadolph. And Frederica, you'd be in, let's see, probably finding someone from the Saintly Seven, or in their domain, of Hyzant.
Gustadolph was in at the Twin Gates at Aesfrost.
Yes, at the Twin Gates. You can expect him to be there. Take 5. Look at it over the roster, and kind of like figure out who you want. Because when we start drafting, you have like 1 minute to pick. You just go down the list.
Okay.
Bring out a fucking notepad.
Okay. Yeah, I've opened up a notepad
except
as well.
the person who's.
I don't.
No one can talk except the person who has in the spotlight.
Okay.
It's like a sports draft.
I don't do sports. You know that.
This is bringing me back to.
Well, it's time to step up and be a leader.
Think of it like dodgeball. It's okay.
This is bringing me back to when we were reaching the end of Final Fantasy VI, dude. This is war.
War is hell. Frederica, just keep Serenoa. You're good.
War is hell.
Also, something to consider. Remember, you don't bring the person along. The person who plays the character, they can't advise you during the battle.
They can't, or they
so
can't?
you bring along. The only person who can talk during battle, like give you advice, are the people that you bring into your regiment.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That
be pretty strict about that rule. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that my first thought of draft is not like it has nothing to do with gameplay. It's more like this is what my character would do, and it's so annoying to me.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah. Oh, and with that roster sheet, you can sort it by availability of go under data.
So are y'all gonna conduct trades? Like that's what it
And
looks
future views.
My own fantasy draft.
At the end, though, I'm still gonna make approval. Like, if you steal all the tanks and healers, we can have a problem. Then it may take 3 or 5 minutes because I'm gonna grab some water.
Yeah.
So we're not doing anything right now. We're just thinking about it, and then we're gonna draft.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like a couple more minutes, we'll make the draft.
Cool.
Yeah.
Guys, good news. I have 3 characters. You can each take one.
Yeah.
Well,
good because that's good.
Oh
okay,
my gosh,
so
me too.
Obviously, I think it's very, very clear to say this. Before we start doing into draft, we all need a healer.
Yeah.
So as long as we split up the healers, we'll be good.
Yes.
So our healers are
already split.
Geela, Hasabara, and Medina, right?
Yeah. Narv as well.
Oh, Narv as well.
Yeah. So we have 4 healers.
I think Narv and Hasabara should probably go to the same place because
Narv and
Hasabara is kind of
Hasabara.
healing light.
Yeah, Hasabara can heal everyone except herself, which is a shame.
Geela, Narv, Hasabara, and Medina. Okay, so whoever gets Narv should also get Hasabara.
Oh,
yeah.
Hog.
That's unfair.
And Hog also has a little he has the
he can
bring it
reverse
back
damage.
healing.
Oh yeah. Hog
So not
is a
healing,
well.
but
reverse time, reverse damage.
Anti-damage.
That's
It's
true. But we
healing.
also all have the Quietus.
We do
That's
have
true
the
as well.
Quietus, yeah.
I'm thinking. I really am.
Yes. Deep in
Brain
funk.
hurts.
Deep in funk.
Here's the thing too.
Happy juice.
I did not
Here's
think
the
I was
thing
making decisions
to
tonight.
consider as well is that anybody that takes Decimal should also take somebody that can give him TP. So he's
like
more effective.
Julio or Medina.
Yeah.
Julio and Medina are the only ones who can give others TP.
Yeah. So whoever takes, I guess that gives 2 options. So whoever takes, or maybe if somebody takes both Julio and Medina, that person should also take Decimal.
Well, I don't know because again with Narv and with Izana, they both tend to use up their TP rather quick. So
That's true.
This is so complicated.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
big brain
I reckon
moves.
if someone has Narv and Izana, Narv, Izana, and Julio are a good combo of characters. Because like not only can Julio restore TP, he can boost their magic attack as well.
I'm trying to remember what the did we ever do battle in Hyzant?
Not yet, but we did investigate that part.
I know,
when
but
we
I'm
were
trying to
seeing the
remember
slaves
exactly
working.
like where we would be fighting.
Oh, if it's a battle map.
multi-tiered.
Yeah, like a battle map.
It's like multi-tiered. I've done a fight in Hyzant outside, but it might be in a different like zone or arena or whatever. It's like multi-tiered town, like the Wolffort domain fight with Evlora.
Oh, remember, we're trying to break the statue to expose the.
Oh yeah,
crystals
with near
hidden inside.
the lake. That's
So what
it is.
are the objectives
Flat.
again? Is there a way we can find that, or do we not know?
We don't know yet.
Based on what we know from the thing, probably it's gonna be Roland is just kill Gustadolph.
But yeah, because we need to get the death knell.
Yeah.
Benedict just needs to defend Castle Wolffort.
Yeah.
Using the fire
So
traps.
Benedict's gonna be more of a like
More of a defensive map. Yes.
Yes. We'll make use of those high places. Intent.
Yeah.
So Benny's got defense, likely getting some archers.
Yeah.
I should.
There aren't a lot. We don't have a lot of tanks.
We only have Erador and Flanagan.
Lionel.
Lionel too.
Oh,
Those three need to spread out.
Okay, so I'm gonna. add
Roma
those to
also
this.
takes a lot of damage.
Dilf? Oh, that's true.
Yeah, Roma balls.
Remember, you have to factor in availability too. Like, if Greg's not here on the day of your battle, you either have to go through that battle without him, or you have to reschedule it.
Oh boy.
Alright, so I have a list of healers that need to be spread out, as well as tanks that need to be spread out.
If Benedict is going to be on a defensive map, he would need one tank at least.
I think we all need at least one tank, just for proper fighting.
It's better to have a balanced party.
Yeah. Well, what about Evlora? Right, we've only just got her, but could she double as a tank as well?
He's a damage dealer, kind of like Maxwell.
Okay.
He's so pretty.
Alright. You guys ready to begin?
No, but it might as well be.
Alright, Frederica, go first. You have 60 seconds.
Okay. Where do I do this?
No, just tell me who you want.
Oh.
I'll do everything else.
I'm gonna go Geela first. Bestie. She's my woman. She's been with me for everything. Oh, do I do all of them or what?
No, we're gonna go through the
That's
list.
what that's what I was wondering.
Nolan, Nolan would be next. 60 seconds.
I'm thinking I'll take Medina.
Benedict, your time's up. 60 seconds.
Erador. Aunt Benedict, Uncle Erador. They're a team.
I should also mention that you do get some special dialogue. You bring like, character relations into factor in who you're fighting.
if I'm going to be defending, I want a reliable tank.
Yeah.
My turn next, right?
Yes, Frederica, 60 seconds.
Okay. Fuck. I'm gonna go with Flanagan. Which might not be the smartest, but I'm gonna go with it. Hope you like mages.
Roland, 60 seconds.
I'll go for the other tank, Lionel.
Benedict, 60 seconds.
Osabara.
Frederica?
Yep. Okay. I think I'm gonna go Azana.
Roland?
Going character, I think, for this one, Maxwell.
I had Maxwell on my list, and I specifically did not do that because I was like, no, you should go with Roland.
Yeah. It makes sense character-wise.
You're attacking Gustadolph, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ooh, that means Maxwell might have some dialogue as well.
Frederica?
Wait, I thought it was my turn.
Oh, wait, sorry. Benedict.
Hughette. I vaguely remember the rooftops of the buildings.
Frederica.
Okay. I am gonna go with... Sorry. I'm gonna go with Anna. I think so far I've only chosen girls and also Flanagan.
Roland?
Let's go for Decimal, Feral Boy.
At your service.
I love Decimal's voice so much.
Benedict.
Sarah Noah.
I think that makes sense. We're going to be Wolffort.
Frederica.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Damn, this is hard. Okay. gonna go Avlora. I have a lot of casters. And also she's a good one. But that's not really.
Roland?
Bring in Narv.
Benedict?
I reckon her clone could help lead enemies away, so I'm going to choose Piccoletta.
Frederica?
Okay. Go Julio.
Are you sure you want to do that? Because Nolan has Nav and Decimal. Both of whom are reliable on TP.
Once you draft someone, you can't change your mind.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have Medina, don't you?
Yeah.
So that should be fine then. Okay,
I
never
have
mind, ignore me.
Yeah. I knew that he had Medina, so.
Okay.
I have so many notes in front of me, it's crazy.
She's my
Yeah.
TP machine.
The toilet paper machine. That's what they called me in college.
Oh god.
What?
Don't worry, I shed a lot.
Roland?
I remember ever playing her. I'm not sure if it was good melee, but I thought already Final Maxwell and myself with good melee. Save Hog for one of you two. I've already got 2 healers.
I'll save the hog.
I don't think I have ranged non-caster to take my archers.
Who are our team so far? Nothing keeping track.
I'll take Roland.
Take what?
What?
Sorry, Rudolph.
I
take
Benedict?
Jens. I feel like his ladders and traps will be
Good choice.
good help for this one. Just hope Greg will be here for the day. Not on the day.
Frederica again.
Oh, it's too fast. Okay.
So far left we have Archibald, Giovanna, Groma,
Milo.
The hog. Milo,
Hog.
sorry. The hog. Okay. This all goes because there's I think we fought the least. We've done the least in Hyzan, so that's the least we know about. So I don't know what we need. We have a lot.
Who was left again? Archibald, Milo, Giovanna, Cohog, Groma.
Yeah. Okay, since I have Julio, I will leave the hog. And I'll... Milo.
Roland?
go for Groma.
Benedict.
I'm not just choosing for me, I'm choosing for the others as well. Val has a lot of mobility on her team, so...
Are there only 3 options left?
Yeah, there's only 3.
Only 3 left.
Archibald, Giovanna, and Todd.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering, do we know, like, what would have more water? Obviously, we don't, but just trying to remember the maps.
There's a little bit of water over in Hyzant.
Okay.
I'll take the hog.
Alright. Then I will take Giovanna.
And that means Nolan will get Archibald.
He may not be me, but he's still with me.
He started off as you. Absolutely, save the best and most experienced for last.
That old
You
man.
have my bow.
I don't remember if I still have that name saved, but the and you have my wig is forever my favorite, like one of the wigs ever.
I don't know about ending this tonight. Because I think there was also the rest of the character stories we hadn't done.
Look how fancy our sprites look. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'd like to see us cosplay as
I'm already planning it.
If only I could get
I
some
just
long
dressed
hair
up as a
dyeing.
barrel.
If only I could age 30 years in a short amount of time.
That's what
You
dry
can do
shampoo
that
is
easily
for.
with makeup.
Yeah.
Just
Very
sprinkle
easily.
your face with gray
Old age
spray
makeup is so easy.
And dry
gray
shampoo.
wig. Get the
No,
gray
I didn't
beard.
have Maxwell. I think no one did.
No one has Maxwell.
I had Sarah Noah.
Brothers don't get to fight together.
Nolan, did you get all 3 of your characters?
3?
Yeah. I mean,
LOL.
Archibald isn't mine anymore,
Oh,
so
yeah.
yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But Roland, Archibald, and Bakugo.
That's funny.
I almost didn't recognize him because he's wearing a hood now.
Yeah, he looks sick.
Is there anyone who's spread out across all three? Like everyone has a character in? That's funny.
Nope. Not me.
My shield is yours, Lady Frederica.
I'm double Kyled.
That's it.
Yeah, Nolan's got 2 of mine, and then
I've doubled up on Jules.
My characters include Marwa, Noah, Duck, Greg, Kyle, and Frank. So I've got a big smattering, so hopefully scheduling works out.
I got Jules, Lenny, Emilio, Alice, Noah, and hopefully Greg. Oh, that's right. Yeah. CJ was supposed to
Yeah.
I'm just having a final check.
this is exciting.
Yeah.
Also pressing at the same time.
Yeah.
I think it definitely makes this feel like a momentous ending to the game.
I missed the last pick because I was washing my hair. Who got picked last?
Archibald.
Archibald.
Really?
Oh man.
Oh man.
Old man.
The old man.
Wait, to be fair, in the time
wait.
I've been sitting in the Discord, you guys have used Archibald once, so
That's
not
true.
exactly a big win.
I think we've used Piccoletta like 0 times.
We were kind of restricted because with the major battles, we had to have the entire war council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The canonically their characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, Archibald and Groma get to fight together.
Cute.
Oh, the old people.
Yeah, Giovanna, I had no idea what she did. I don't remember her.
I don't think we ever saw
We've never seen her.
We never used her.
No.
We've used her about as many times as we've used Avalora.
Jen's.
Well, we only had Giovanna for one session.
We had
Jen's
Jen's
is cool.
Yeah. His traps and ladders.
Traps and ladders. Yeah. That was MVP in the Avalora fight.
Oh yes. Unfortunately, she walked into one of the traps.
Yeah.
Maxwell was.
Alright, Frederica, how comfortable do you feel?
What?
What's that?
Because I'm just saying that you won't get tactical advice from me or Duck or Noah based on your party.
Based on my party,
Yes, because
yes.
3 of us are in.
I have
But you
Marwa
got
and
me.
Emilio.
So I just think that all the leadership is going to fall to you. So if someone asks if this is a good move, you have to be firm in your decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm good.
There it is. Let's
Go,
go.
boss.
Let's go.
Real
We
boss.
should go with this.
Sick.
It's
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we're starting with me. Oh boy. Hyzant raises their army on the presumption they can seize the Grand Norzelian mines for themselves. The Hierophant has ordered them to destroy House Wolffort as well. We, however, will not yield. The salt crystals are ours, and we will defend them with our lives. Hyzant shall bend the knee at the tip of our blades. Their army may have the advantage of numbers, but even that will mean naught against our wildfire traps. The Hyzantian army blindly obeys the Hierophant. But the Hierophant has no power here. We choose our own path, and we have the courage of our convictions. This battle is but the first step on the path Lord Serenoa has laid before us. let us take this first step together and rejoice! For Norzelia, now and forever.
Twins Gate is sealed. Gustadolph hardens his defenses at the encampment within. We will approach the gate and request an audience. We may yet find common ground with Esfrost. The duchy wields the Death Stone, a weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield surrounding Hyzant to rubble. We need that weapon if we are to break the Holy State's stranglehold on Salt and thus Norzelia. I know this may feel a betrayal to some of you. Esfrost invaded us. They are the enemy. They murdered father and brother, and I will never forget nor forgive them for it. But I believe if father was still here, he would see that I go to Esfrost for the right reasons. That I ask them for aid so that we may thrive. For above all, a king's duty is to his people. And I would sooner cast out the shadows of the past by building a brighter future than lament our lot in life. I ask for your aid in building that bright future. Let us walk the path set before us by Serenoa and lead Norzelia into a new era of peace and prosperity unlike any we've known.
To the plan. We shall slip into the capital city of the Holy State, disguised as a band of merchants from the Norzelia Consortium. Lord Clarus has taken on no small amount of risk in agreeing to help us gain entry. We are truly in your debt, Lord Clarus.
Frank still with us?
Yeah, I pulled the muted gig. I stand to gain more from a liberated Norzelia, where Hyzant no longer dictates the terms of trade and commerce. In short, spare no extra thoughts for me. This is as much a business consideration as it is helping those in need.
As he says, this is for the future of Norzelia. We now endeavor to destroy the goddess's likeness that serves as a pillar of their teachings. If the Rosellan legends are true, we will find that the statue concealed a massive pillar of salt that was stolen from my people. This salt pillar is This salt pillar is incontrovertible proof that the teachings and the goddess around which they are built are lies. The faithful will be shaken to their core, and the Hierophant's power will wane. With luck, we may even show the Roselle they were without fault, inciting them to rise once more and cast off the yoke of their oppressors. This is nothing less than a battle to wrest control of Norzelia from the clutches of a capricious and vengeful goddess. Have you prepared the explosives, Lord Clarus?
Prepared and loaded onto a cart, milady. Enough to bring the goddess back to Earth, I should think.
Excellent. Then let us depart.
You are a marvel, Lady Frederica. A Rosellan with Esferati blood, fighting under House Wolffort's banner. Who better than you to challenge Hyzant's tyranny? Do you not feel the weight of destiny upon you?
This is not destiny, Lord Clarus. Nothing could be less certain than the moment in which we find ourselves. Serenoa and I have traveled a long, hard road together. It brought us here, but it does not end here, and so we walk on.
Now you seek to fell the goddess. You are possessed of an iron will, if you'll forgive the expression.
I shall take that as a compliment. Watch over us, Mother.
From across the border, the Hyzantian army marches, its sights set on the Grand Norzellian mines. At its head is Exarm Marshal of the Saintly Seven. Exarm Marshal of the Saintly Seven. Seizing control of the Salt is not his sole objective. He has come to investigate disturbing rumors that Serenoa Wolffort has forsaken the blessing of the goddess. Knowing the answer to that question and the repercussions it will provoke, House Wolffort and its allies have carved out a strategy on which their survival will hinge. They will divide their forces into three, each acting in concert to outwit their adversary. Roland will lead a company to the S-Frosty border, where they will entreat Lord Svarog for his support and the use of his death knell. Frederica will lead her own retinue to the source to reveal the lies of the goddess's teachings and rouse the Roselle to action, as her mother did before her. Benedict will remain in the Wolffort domain, ready to risk all in an effort to stave off the Hyzantian army. United by their faith in Serenoa's vision, each takes to their preparations with resolve, understanding fate's judgment is at hand. Minister Exarm has arrived with the full might of Hyzant in tow. He requests a parley. How diplomatic of him, considering his forces already surround the castle. Doubtless he'll demand that we surrender the salt crystals, and that we bow our heads low to the Hierophant. We'll deny him, of course, and a battle will follow. We must make ready. The common folk have been led to shelter, and we have oil aplenty. All that is left is to steel our resolves. Although our forces are fewer, we have the advantage of terrain. Prudent use of our traps will turn the tide of battle in our favor.
A new future is before us. A bright future. But first we must carve our way through it to it.